Hey folks, welcome back to the kitchen here at Mark Kelly Farm. As per usual, this time of year, we have some softball games to go to tonight. We got a double header. So we're going to stir up some food to take to the game. Kind of a little tailgate party. Stick around, we'll show you what we're going to make and tell you why we're doing it. So the games here start at 6 o'clock. Kelly gets off work at 5 o'clock and barely has enough time to get to the game. So it kind of puts a little hitch in the giddy up when we're trying to do food. And being it's a double header, not much is open afterwards. So normally I'll go get food early or something like that and meet her there with the food. But today we're going to do a burger bag. And we'll show you what that is. Basically, it's a bag full of burgers. They're the best little burgers, though. For some reason, when you make them ahead of time like that and wrap them up, they're just amazing. I don't know what it is, but let's get to it. First thing we need to make is the burger sauce. All right, the ingredients for our burger sauce are as follows. Don't worry about writing it down because I'll show you the recipe here in a second. So we're starting out with a cup of Hellmann's mayonnaise. In my opinion, there's no other mayonnaise. It's our go-to stuff. Out west, it's called Best Foods. And then to that, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of regular yellow mustard. And again, we use French's. 2 tablespoons of relish, sweet relish. I'm using our zucchini relish, is really good. And 2 tablespoons of our good homemade ketchup. You're also going to add a half a teaspoon of black pepper, a half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, and a 1/4 teaspoon of Worcestershire. And an optional ingredient is sriracha, but I never add it. I don't care for it in my burger sauce, but some of you may like that. And it'd be like another 2 teaspoons of sriracha. Now when you put your relish in, use a fork to measure it out so most of the liquid stays in the relish. We don't want to add any liquid to this sauce. And anytime you're measuring anything thick, use one of these Wonder Cups. Are amazing because you can fill it up to the correct measurement and then just push it all out. You don't have anything that stays in the cup. So we're going to stir this together and put it in the fridge. It's a good idea to make this ahead. For convenience purposes, I put it in a squeeze bottle. And I always cut the tops a little bit bigger on the squeeze bottle because you got to allow for the relish to get out of there. Otherwise it clogs up. So this is going in the fridge. We'll start working on the burgers. Got all our burger patties made. I like using these patty papers. You can buy patty papers that are specifically designed for this. But I just take our pre-cut parchment and cut it into 4 pieces. We're going to do 8 burgers because that's how many buns are in a bag. So I'm going to cook these in an electric skillet so I can do 4 burgers at a time. So let's get that out. Got our electric skillet out. I like using this because it maintains a constant temperature. I also use it for deep frying a lot. And the grill temperature you want to use when you're cooking burgers is anywhere from 375 to 400 degrees. We're going on the lower side of that because I don't want to overcook my burgers and they'll cook fairly quickly at 400. So we don't need to put any oil in here because there's fat in the hamburgers. So let's get some in once this light goes out. The beautiful thing about these patty papers is you can pop these burgers right in the skillet. You don't have to worry about them deforming or anything like that. You can shape them out the size that you want, and it works out real well. All right, our burgers are in. We're going to give them a little seasoning on this top side. And then when we flip them over, we'll give a little more on the other side. And now that we got these cooking, we're going to be waiting for the blood to show up on the surface of these burgers. Then it's time to flip. So while we're waiting for that, we're going to get our buns set up here on our papers. We're using some everything buns to add a little bit of kick, give a little bit more hearty bun. Now some of you may wonder, why don't you toast your buns? Well, We don't really need to, because after we wrap these burgers up, they're going to get all nice and steamy on the inside. Make that bun really soft. It'll take in a lot of the moisture from that fresh cooked hamburger, and it'll make those buns amazing. So you really don't want like a crusty surface to that bun. Normally you do that to keep the bun from getting soggy. We kind of want it to get just a little soggy with this. Got our cheese here all unwrapped, ready to go. Some people are going to say, oh my God, you're using that fake American cheese. Sorry, there's just nothing like it on a burger. There's two things that I have to have this American cheese on. That is a bologna sandwich and a hamburger. Alright, you see the blood has come to the surface of the burger. That is time to flip. Alright, see that beautiful color? That's what we're looking for. Just a light sprinkling, a little bit more of our seasoning on that side. Now, what you don't want to do is get your spatula in here and start smashing these burgers to get the juice to come out of them. No, no, don't do that. You want these burgers to be juicy on the inside. So no smash of the burger. So you can see we've got blood starting to come out of the top side of this. We want to wait until this juice starts running clear and is no longer red. And then that's the time where we're going to throw the cheese on and get them onto the buns. But we'll flip these burgers real quick before we put the cheese on them. So anything that's red on top will be seared off on that pan. So don't worry about any uncooked blood or anything like that. It's going to be fine. Our next step while we're waiting to get our sauce out, put about 1.5 tablespoons maybe on each top portion of the bun. We've got the bottom portion in the middle of each foil. You can buy these foil sheets at the grocery store in your foil aisle. Okay, our juices are starting to run clear out of our burgers. So it's time to flip them and cheese them, and then we're going to immediately pull them off, put them on our buns. Got our burgers off. We've got our next batch of hamburger in right away because we don't want our skillet to run away heat through our cover on. We're going to top these burgers with their caps and wrap them up corner to corner, seal them up real good because we want all that steam to stay in there. Got our burgers wrapped up tight. Now in the bag they go. Alright folks, we got our next batch done. We got them all wrapped up. And there's our burger bag. Really good stuff. Everybody's going to thoroughly enjoy those. And I know you can make these burgers a lot more fancy, add a lot more stuff to them. But I think it's the simplicity of these burgers that makes them so darn good. And people always ask, well, what's on it? I say, well, just burger sauce and cheese. And what's in a burger sauce? Well, never you mind. Because they'll say, well, I don't like ketchup. I don't like mayonnaise. Anybody that eats these burgers, they don't even know what's in the sauce. They love it. So if they say they don't like any of that stuff, they just don't know what they're talking about most of the time. So made it just in time to get down to softball. Kelly's going to meet me there. So hope you enjoyed this burger sack recipe, sack of burgers. It's fantastic, great for picnic stuff. I even eat these things cold out of the fridge when we have leftovers. I'll be in my chair at midnight and have me a cold burger. They're even good cold. So love you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. Come back and see us here on Mark Kelly Farm where the content is always free.
Good job, Lil.